Hey folks, when I presented my build progress on the Wingnut Wings Rumpler C.IV, I had constructed part of the interior frame, the floor pan, the seat, the instrument panel, the area around, immediate area around the observer. But of course, I still needed to put on the side rails, the front bulkhead, the support structures that come out in a U-shaped piece right there for the engine, and the steering column. A lot of stuff needed to go inside. It all needed to be glued together and fit within a tolerance of next to nothing, very little margin for error. And then was it going to fit inside the fuselage with crew? Looks like, knock on wood, I've succeeded. I have the interior frame and components done, except for an oil pump, small little piece which goes through the instrument panel into the engine compartment. And of course, I've got to drop the Mercedes, or is it Daimler? I think maybe in this case, Daimler. For some reason, some of the engines in the war were Mercedes and some were Daimler, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't know enough about it. But anyway, I have not constructed the engine. Now, in my past experience with Wingnut Wings kits, the inline engines from the German planes are not an issue in terms of affecting the construction. If the things don't fit together properly, it has to do with getting the frame, the interior frame, screwed up, not the engine per se. So I think that's going to be okay. Best of all, I dropped in the crew, not best of all, but I dropped in the crew figures, the pilot on the left, the observer on the right, after I had taped this all up. So they can come in and out. Sort of sad news, as I suspected, I did have to amputate the pilot's feet, but they are not going to be visible in any way, except out of the cockpit, of course. And I don't tend to display it that way. So that's okay. I still want to lower, or will lower, the arms of the observer so that they hopefully, both the right hand and the left hand, are resting on the ring around his portion, or his cockpit ring there. And that's, of course, where the Parabellum machine gun will fit. Kind of a shame that engine compartment, that back half compartment is so closed off. You can see some of it with the figures out, and almost next to none of it on either side with the figures in, but that's the way it goes. Now let me see if I can deconstruct this, take the tape off without tipping over my mini tripod here to show you what's inside and how it looks. First of all, we'll remove and he's got a little blue tack on his foot, so come on out. There we go. This guy just dropped right in. And look, yeah, he lost his feet. Okay, so now, I'm actually just going to do this off camera so that I don't tip over the camera. So I'm going to take this off, remove the tape, and show you what the completed interior looks like. I'll put on some more clear varnish to protect the surfaces. Of course, the engine drops in at the end. That's not a big issue, just as I'm starting to take it apart. So there, now I've taken off that ring surround in the back. You can see there's a bomb sight in there. There's a rack for bombs, which I did not put bombs in because my plane is a reconnaissance plane. And there's the camera dropping through. And there's the reserve fuel tank in the front there, under which there is a wireless amplifier or wireless transmitter. Okay, take this off. Got to peel off a little more tape. Bear with me, folks. And then we'll show you what the interior looks like. 99% completed if I don't count the engine, which at the moment I'm not counting. Okay, taking this apart carefully, making sure nothing is stuck here. There we go. It's a snug, 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 snug. Did I say snug? Yeah, it's snug. Okay, so now, oops, and I did tip over the camera, of course. All right, sorry about that. All right, so now, there we go. All right, so there is the completed interior assembly, except of course for the oil pump, primer pump, whatever, hand pump that goes through the control panel. And of course the engine drops in. The level of detailing is just wonderful. I didn't use any aftermarket stuff at all on this, just the parts that came with the kit and the decals. Pilot sits on top of the main fuel tank, instrument panel. The reserve fuel petrol tank sits on top of this frame, under which is the wireless transmitter. There, that black thing is a rack for bombs, but they're not, they were included, but I'm not using them. There's the safety harness for the observer hanging from the back bulkhead. There is the lovely little camera that drops down and sights through. So that's what the interior looks like without crew. Now bear with me, I'm gonna just take this off and I'll just slip the crew in. Okay, pilot's in, and hopefully I can get the observer to stand on his piece of blue tack. There we go. So, there is the interior, pretty much as it's going to look. Well, you saw it inside the fuselage. That's what it looks like displayed. And of course, next step was did a little touch up with some oil paint wash. So I'm going to let that all dry. I probably shouldn't have even been handling it now. And then after which I will varnish it with clear varnish, the interior, and then set it aside. Well, and while all of that stuff is drying, I will be assembling the Daimler engine. I will make adjustments to the observer later on, after I've got everything mounted, to make sure I've got a good fit for the arms. I might take a little bit more off of the pilot's backside to get him to sit just a bit more snugly against his seat there. But yeah, this is probably the best frame I have done in the scheme of things. I'm pretty, flip it around this way so you can see the view from the front. I had a dickens of a problem with the frame on my Roland Fighter. Did not quite get that right. It ended up having to chop it up a bit. Of course, none of that showed after assembly, but it still, still bugged me, of course. So there it is. It's almost, worthy of display on its own right, if any of things I've ever built are worthy of display, but you know what I mean. Since so much of it gets hidden, it's kind of a shame they don't give you a complete extra set. Some to do just to sit out on the side. But I can always look at the pictures and the videos, and that's how I play it. Thanks for watching.